Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, June 9th. I'm still in shock that it is June already. So I hope this finds you guys doing well. Thank you all for tuning in, either live or to the replay. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask them. I would love to answer them. So today we're going to be talking about content calendars. So, one of the things that I hear people tell me all the time is that they don't have time to consistently post on social media or write their blog posts or whatever it happens to be. It all comes down to time. And one of the things that I am very passionate about is making sure that when I'm someplace that I am engaged with that person and in that place to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. Because I think being present in a society where we are tied to our phones all of the time is extremely important. And if you feel the same way, then hopefully what I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to give you a little bit about what you need. And again, feel free. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Ask any questions along the way. Even if you have a question, the replay, just let me know. Type it in the chat down below, and I will be happy to go ahead and monitor that. I'm planning to go to Grand Rapids for a day and a half here. So might be a little bit delayed, but I will be responding for sure. So, one of the things that I want to talk about is that content marketing, and let me pull up my notes here because I like to have notes. Content marketing is important, okay? Because, and even social media marketing, it is important because it answers your audience's questions. It helps you build trust, develop relationships, improve conversions, and generate leads. So, as we're talking about this, you know that this helps you become somebody that they know, like, and trust, right? And consistency is the number one most important thing that you can do for your content. And that means making time for that. Okay. Now, what I do want to tell you is that consistent, high quality, engaging content impacts audience decision making more than any other technique in marketing. So, this is like really important, right? So, a couple things I'm going to talk about when you're developing content and social posts and dealing with a calendar, how you can more easily prepare in advance. So, the first thing that I like to share, and let me go ahead and share my screen, is to think about the types of content that you want to share and publish. So, you want to come up with themes that are important to you, that reflect your branding and reflect who you are. So, maybe you're doing educational content. Like this is educational content. Maybe it's inspirational quotes, inspirational information. Maybe you do some fun and entertaining things. So I just posted a meme in my Facebook group about it's got an airplane. It's an image that I was inspired by somebody else for, but it's got a plane on the ground and says, emails drafted, ready to go, takes off, email is sent, and then it's got all these people standing on one of those staircases that that attach to the plane, and they were left behind, and that's symbolizes the attachment that you forgot to attach. So it was actually really cute. But you could do fun and entertaining content, jokes, memes, different things like that. Um, Share about yourself, right? Talk about reviews that your customers give you or benefits of working with you. Promotional should not happen more than once every 2 weeks for the most part. I mean, all of this is promotional in one way, shape, or form, but that direct promotional should only happen like once every 2 weeks, so once every 10 days. Behind the scenes, so you can show things behind the scenes. I'm still a little bit nervous, but I'm working on trying to take a behind the scenes photo so you can see why the back desk looks so nice, because there's a whole big pile of papers right down here that I'm like, shh. Um, so one day I'll show behind the scenes when I've got the guts to show the mess that's underneath my outside of the screen here. And then, of course, holidays. People love holidays like Pizza Day and Valentine's Day. And so some of the traditional and some of the less traditional. Talk Like a Pirate Day. May the 4th be with you for May 4th. Again, all of these different things that you can highlight. These are just some of the types of content that you can publish. And you need to think about what is most important to you, what is going to reflect your brand and yourself. I was talking with someone and they said, well, this is too many things for me to think about. So I said, okay, so why don't you just pick 4 or 5, for the 5 days in a week, right? And then rotate through them. And I think that that really helps you plan your content in advance so that you can be more present in the events that you're in. So, hi, Angie. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's good to see you. Appreciate that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So again, when you're publishing these types of content and you're scheduling things in advance, and I'm going to show you a tool that I have for you guys if you want it later on, a little bit about how you can plan this a little bit better. So let's talk a little bit about what educational content and posts could look like. So I did a blog post on the Apple iOS 15 privacy updates. So I could post on social, have you heard about the Apple iOS 15 privacy updates? It's made email open rates no longer relevant. Looking to learn more? Check out my latest blog. So yes, it's marketing because it's sending them to my website. It's promotional, but it's really educational because it's all about the fact that email open rates are no longer relevant. Okay, now let's think about inspirational, right? Perfectionism is the mother of procrastination. That's a quote from Michael Hyatt, one of my favorites that I use this all the time. Hey, Ashley, thanks so much for tuning in. We got Jen Harvin in the house too. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, when you're writing inspirational quotes, you want to think about what that is and what that looks like. So, perfectionism is the mother of procrastination on a nice background with the person that did the quote really works well. All right. Now, if you're looking to do fun and entertaining, again, you could talk about your favorite flavor of ice cream. It showcases you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a meme if you're not comfortable with that or that doesn't reflect your brand. But again, I think it all comes down to who you are. So then you've got the about me piece. So I love Cherry Coke Zero. That is my favorite glass or drink to drink. And it's, yeah, unfortunate. I know I shouldn't drink soda, but luckily, this is not a nutrition show. So we're going to talk about a list. So I can actually highlight the fact that, this is my favorite drink and it can show behind the scenes a little bit into me and what I do. We can talk a little bit about what I do in my free time. There's so many different things that you can do. Then, of course, there's a review and benefits. So, talk about why people work with you or what they are saying about working with you or the benefits of working with you, right? So, we can talk about different things. I'm trying to think here. I actually had an idea here. Let's find that. Um, are you struggling? I could do a post that's, are you struggling with creating consistent content? You're in the right place. I know it can be hard to find time, but you can be confident in no time. Want to learn more? Send me a DM with your questions. And then I could say something like, if I'm being honest, I was terrified when I started my business 8 years ago, but there were so many possibilities waiting for me outside my comfort zone. So I went for it. I'm so glad I did because I've been able to serve amazing people like Ken, who said, I'm never in doubt that everything you do is in the best interest of our organization. His heartfelt words gave me the warm fuzzies. There's so much joy in what I do. And for that, I'm so very thankful. So I'm able to share benefits and what people think about working with me. Oh, yep. About me can also be educational. Yes, it can be. You can talk about your favorite camera. You could talk about your favorite lens, your favorite time of going out during the day and because of the lighting and things like that. Angie's a nature photographer for those of you just tuning in. And then of course there's promotional. So you got promotionals. You can have a picture of yourself. And then you can also share a little bit more about that. I could say something like, woohoo, I did it. And by it, I mean, I created a downloadable that shares how I create content ideas for my clients. Fill out a request form on my website, or for this case, fill out a form at kenracorman.com/5 hacks, the number 5 hacks, if this sounds like something you're interested in. Another one, I could say, are you ready for what's on the agenda today? My newest video, of course. It's all about what's important in email marketing after the iOS 15 update. Head to the link in my bio to check it out and come back here to let me know what you think. So, again, we can really create things that engage people. And then behind the scenes. So, for example, I went on a photo shoot. So, this is part of my photo shoot. Yes, there was a tub and I had to test it out because it was there, right? But you want to know what's on my agenda for the day? Resting after an exhausting photo shoot for my new website, kendracorman.com. I'm so excited, but getting a bunch of pictures taken was pretty exhausting. I'm looking forward to relaxing with my Kindle. What's on your agenda? So again, just thinking about what you can do and what you've done, and it doesn't have to be posted that day. It could be posted the next day. You really want to try and schedule your posts in advance, again, so that you can be present in the event that you're in. Okay. And then, of course, we've got holiday posts. So, and this is a funny one that I read on somebody else's, so I can't take credit for it, but not to sound mozzarella cheesy, but you have a pizza of my heart. I'm marinating in Pums today on National Pizza Day, and I'm just going with it. Now that you know it's National Pizza Day, let me know what toppings you'll be celebrating with. So, just a neat little piece of information that you can utilize. Okay, so and then if you want to see some great engaging content, be sure to check out Ashley Chambers and Jen Harvin on LinkedIn. They do some really amazing posts, and they're not posting live from their event. They're posting afterwards and telling what a great time that they had because they're present in the moment at the event. And I think that that's really important. So again, it's just something for you guys to think about and look at. So let me change screens. Now, if you go ahead and request my 5 hacks, which I think I've got, let me find my banner here. It's under, oh, I guess I didn't do a banner for this one, of course. So let me do this for you. Corman.com/hacks. Add banner. There we go. So so if you go to my website, go to kendracorman.com/5hacks, you'll get to a place where you can download my guide on how to come up with content creation ideas. It does talk about these categories, but it also really talks about more specifically, it really talks about how to come up with ideas, how to find what people are searching for on Google. It's stuff that I talk about all the time, like Answer the Public, Google's autocomplete, things like that. But it also has a link to help you with a content calendar. And so, what I want to show you guys here, and let me pull up my Excel sheet, is in there, it has a link to a Google Sheet and to an Excel where you can download. And then let me put this full screen. So hopefully you can see this. But what we have here is a fillable calendar. You've got all the months. It actually updates automatically, which is pretty cool. You can pick if your weeks like to start on Sunday or Monday. And then you can actually build out your quarter. Couple things that I recommend while using a content calendar, and this is just one type of a content calendar. I like to look at the quarter in advance and take a look at all the different holidays that are coming up so that I can pick which ones I want to talk about and highlight that really reflect who I am and my brand. Okay. Let's see. And then the link to the kendracorman.com/5hacks is in the chat, by the way. So if you do want to get this, you can request a copy of that downloadable and go from there. But again, what I want to say is with this, you're able to look at the month from a glance. So you can take a look if there's any big events that you're doing or anything major that you're coming across with. That's really important and can really help you fill out this calendar as you go. So this sort of gives you these 3 months, give you an overview. And again, you can use this same Excel sheet and just change the different months to whatever it is they need to be. And it automatically updates all the dates. So July 4th is 4th of July. So you can type in 4th of July. And again, you can just copy these over whenever you need them. Now, what I also have here is in your social media planning workbook, again, for a content calendar, is these are the categories that I just talked about: the educational and the inspirational, the fun and entertaining, the reviews, the benefits, promotional, behind the scenes, holidays. All of those things I think are very accurate, but you need to figure out what those mean to you. And you may even want to change them. So instead of it being called inspirational, maybe it's travel tips because you love to travel. Something, again, just for you to think about. Anything in blue is editable on this sheet, and then anything in white is automatic. So what you'll see is this one says on March 1st, 2022, at whatever time, I'm going to post this. Here's the link. You can put the web link to an image if you have one. And then again, a drop down of whatever platform you want to use. And then for things like Twitter, it's actually going to go ahead and do the character count for you. But you can create all of your posts for the month right here in this. And then you can actually plan ahead for a whole quarter if that's really what you want to do. I don't necessarily recommend planning a quarter at a time, but again, I think it works well for some people to do that. And if you take time, I like to plan 1 to 2 weeks at a time. It takes about 45 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes to really think about it, to spend some time, especially 45 minutes if I'm lacking some inspiration. But if you have that inspiration and you know what you want to talk about and you know what's on your calendar, you can really pre-do a lot of this stuff and then supplement it with the other pieces. So last week I went to an event and you can post about it a week later. It doesn't have to be right when you're there. So just something to keep in mind. But using a content calendar will really help you plan ahead and be aware of all of the different things that are going on for you. Now, you can schedule posts in a lot of different ways. So you can actually schedule posts directly in Facebook. You can use scheduling tools like Hootsuite or Buffer. I use a system called CoSchedule, and you might want to use their Excel sheet or their CSV or Google Sheet, whatever it is that they give you. And for uploading posts, I do recommend Google Sheets over Excel because there's less gobbledygook that'll mess up the posts when it's uploaded into that system. So anyway, because it'll do like weird things with apostrophes and dollar signs and depending on what you have in your post. But you can schedule a lot of these posts in advance so that you have the power to be more consistent. And I think that that's really, really important. Okay. So I want you to think about, again, think about the categories you want to post about. Think about, and again, they can be different than the ones I talked about. These were just a little bit for inspiration of some things that I do and that I share, and that I've shared in the past. You can do things that are more directly tied to you. What are your 5 passion points? And put those down. Your business should be one of them. But again, maybe it's travel, maybe it's your family. Whatever it is that's going to reflect and show a piece of you, I think is really important. But one of the most important things is to only be selling no more than once every 5 days. But if you can get to 8 to 10, that's even better because even when you're adding value and providing educational content, that is still promotional in a way because people are becoming aware of how much they know, like, and trust you, if that makes sense. So the using a content calendar makes your life so much easier. I hope that you guys take some time again to go to kendracorman.com/5hacks, get a copy of my guide on how with my cheat sheet, and then download a copy of the Excel or the Google Sheet that I created that will help you do this. The Google Sheet doesn't have as much automation built into it as the Excel, which is why I do prefer the Excel if you like it. But hopefully this tool will help you plan your social media in advance so that you can be a little bit more consistent in your messaging and that you can make sure that it's more on brand than if you were just winging it because, oh, I forgot to post today. those types of things. So it's just something to think about. Again, think about authenticity, think about engaging with people, because that's the other piece, is that once your posts are done, that's great, but it's not a leave it and forget it. You are going to need to monitor your comments and your questions and your things like that. So, just something to keep in mind and think about as you're building your content calendar. I encourage you to do that. If you have any questions about the content calendar or how to use it, let me know. I am 100% available to helping you as much as I can so that you're creating better content and adding more value to your viewers and subscribers. All right. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And just a little side note plug for my podcast. Today launched my podcast, which is called Imperfect Marketing, with guest Brenda Cadman. She was announced that she is a Canva global expert. I think it was just announced this week. She's one of 25 global Canva experts. Hopefully I'm getting that right, in the world, which is pretty impressive, right? So she shares a lot about how she's managed 2 businesses and how she's going to be doing that moving forward and the change in her strategy there. She also shares a little bit about Canva Pro, and how to utilize that. So you definitely want to check that out. You can visit my podcast directly at imperfectmarketing.kendracorman.com if you're interested in checking it out, or just go to the blogs on my website and you'll be able to find it there also. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And then, as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I do appreciate it. And thanks again, Angie. Appreciate it. It was good to see you. And have a great rest of your day.